Back in the olden days, we used to use cup and wire, but as you see right here, it's not the same in the new millennium. We use wireless.
Anyways, this will be a quick unboxing of the Astro A-50s. Now, I do have the older Astro A-50s, as you can see right here. I've had it for about 4 years, kind of a little bit banged up. It's still working. And of course, their wireless module, but that's all about the change, as you can see. And I'm not going to go too much in detail with this. In fact, my unboxing is extremely fast. Watch this. Click. And we're back. Pretty quick. The only reason why I didn't go through the whole process is because there's probably about 1 million other videos on here, and this is just getting down to the skinny to see what this thing is all about. So you get your standard manuals and everything else, and of course your fiber optic cable and your USB. I measured them both. They are identical to the original ones that came with the A-50, so no surprise there. The only really big difference is that you get a new blue chrome finish here for if you buy the PlayStation 4 compatible ones, and I believe the Xbox is actually the green one. And of course this guy right here, this is what it's all about. So they pretty much combine your charging element and also this guy right here all into this lovely little platform right here. Cords and everything are all pretty much the same. You got your charge out. You also have your PC and USB connection in that, and also power. As you can see, pretty much the same thing on what this guy is right here. So no surprises there. Only difference is that instead of having to put that on a corded for USB for charger, you pretty much just drop these guys in right here, and of course it's supposed to recharge the unit itself. And then of course you get a nice little fancy glossy, whereas the older one is pretty much, I don't know, it's some sort of like a material that's up on the top of it. And of course both of them have the side mics, only slightly difference in the style. And of course the toggle between your voice and sound is identical too as well with the older ones. And again, not much changed on that as I can see. Moving right along, I'm going to hook this up and get this thing charged up a little bit and go from there. Okay, so I gave it through a kind of a little bit of a test run. I was playing some music through them, a couple of different types. Sound just as good as the first ones, which is why I bought these. I haven't had any problems. I've compared these with my buddies. What is it? Turtle Beaches. He had a couple of them. Wasn't terribly too impressed. I mean, he paid, I think for his wireless ones, he paid like $2 something. Of course, it's a little bit cheaper than these. Fortunately, these things were about $300, and then you figure with taxes, I think I paid about $315 for them. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like them. There's a couple of other things that I was running through is with the voice aux on these and the voice, being able to switch it back and forth. There's actually a couple of different beeps. This one is just basically you hold it down. If you get to the end, you'll hear it chirp, or it'll have a little tone on it, and then vice versa. Whereas this one, if you press it, it takes a couple seconds, and then if you press it again, then you can adjust the volume, it seems. I wonder if they put that in case you accidentally bump this, it doesn't change anything right away. The other thing is that I was going through the standard the slider right here. I don't know if you can see that. This gives you your different types of say presets for that. So like, let's say for instance you didn't want too much surround, you basically would slide it up, and then the middle is changes it again, and then all the way down to the bottom again. You'll get a little bit different experience for each one of those. And of course the power button, basically it's a quick tap on this one and that'll actually turn it off. However, it's going to take a little bit to get used to, but this is actually your Dolby, if it could focus a little bit. There we go. I'm using a phone, so that's probably why it's not focusing right away. But you can kind of see it. This is your actual Dolby button, whereas on this one, this would be your Dolby button on this side. So I'll probably be turning that on and off, thinking I'm turning off the system, but I'm actually not. The other thing is too is that I was kind of disappointed is the power. Reason being is that since I just now got it and I don't know exactly if now can anybody tell me if that's on or off? Nope. At least with this button, if I tabbed it, now it's on. If I hit it again, now it turns off. Whereas this one, I can't tell in what position it's in. Well, I can, but I can't tell if it's in the off or if it's in the on, because right now I actually have it charging off of the base through a USB, and I'll get to that in just a second about the USB. It would have been nice, instead of just putting this guy right here, put maybe like an O or an I letting you know if it's on or off. I think that would probably, I mean, I'm just nitpicking, but hey, you know, if somebody goes pick this up and that, if you give it to your friend, you know, want to, you know, they're like, how do you turn this off? And then you'd be like, okay, let me look, see where it's at. Okay, yeah, you did turn it off. Whereas this one, it's more of a guarantee. The other thing is too is that I was kind of disappointed that they did, is that you see how this has got two metallic bars and then this one has basically got just the one metallic bar. That means you can only put it one way on the actual base. See, there's the two right here, and then there's the one, and of course there's a notch right here, so when you do happen to you put it in there, that your mic sits in that spot. It would have been nice if they actually were able to do it in reversible, so if you just happen to take it off and throw it on there, you know, in a hurry or not, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter which side that you're charging it on. But other than that, right now you can see you got the charge indicator, and of course you got the power going to it. I have it hooked up to my PC at the moment, so one other thought, the whole reason why I actually ended up getting it is because I was, you know, I have my PlayStation over here, which I pretty much play on this screen right here, and jumping back and forth. You know, some days I'll be playing on my PlayStation, or some days I'll be playing on my PC, and during quiet hours, or if I want to be able to talk to my friends and stuff like that on both the PC and that, I'd have to switch this whole thing back and forth. And now I don't have to. So that makes things a little bit more easier and a lot less hassle. Another thing is too that I want to show you guys. What? That's right, magnetic. These pretty much just pop on and pop off, whereas these right here, they're pretty much on. They do make a, I want to say like almost like a leather ear pad, and of course you can also buy replacements in case these actually get worn out. You kind of sort of see them that they're, I mean, just after about 3 years, they're still kind of holding pretty good, but you know, they got a little bit fading out on me, so it's nice to actually be able to now to be able to replace them, and it's just basically held on by magnets. Other than that, that's pretty much it. There isn't anything else I can tell you. But I do like the new blue chrome look. Kind of up that a little bit compared to just the black and orange. Fits the same. Yeah, I can't complain. Like I said, the only thing is that I'm just a little bit, you know, is this base right here, just being able to throw it in. That's going to be kind of annoying at first until I get used to it, but just like anything else, you know, got to get used to it. Also too, I didn't really have to update the firmware, whereas it's kind of weird with this one. When I first got it, I had to go to Astro's website, download the information, and basically upload, or I don't know how you wanted to say it, but update the firmware on this guy, and also have to update the firmware on this guy right here to be able to sync together for the first time. And I think that's what was also happening to a lot of people in the very beginning, that how this actually got bad reviews on the wireless is because they didn't update their stuff. And it was super simple. Download the little packet, open it up, it'll say, hey, make sure that this is plugged in. I had it plugged in, boom, follow the steps. It says, wait a second, uploads, and it says switch it over to this guy right here. I did that, hit the button again, and presto changeo. Again, with this one, I didn't have to. There's also one other thing I want to point out too. Since I'm doing PC, I had to slide this over to the PC side. So that could have been a little bit better. I wish it would have been like kind of like a push button or something. Because this one, I don't even have to hit any one of those. I just basically swap it back and forth. So I don't know why they couldn't do that on that one.
Anyways, well, it's been a freaking slice, my friends. Right now, I'm gonna put these through its paces, play some games for you crazy cats out there. Hope you're having fun. Yeah.